You want connection. But the moment someone gets close, something in you pulls away. Psychology has a name for this, and it's more common than you think. America has a secret. Over 58% of Americans feel lonely. Not occasionally, chronically, every single day. This is the loneliness psychology crisis, and almost nobody is talking about it. The United States is the wealthiest nation. It is the most connected in history. More phones, more apps, more followers, more platforms. And yet Americans are more alone, more isolated, more disconnected than ever before. Here is what makes this strange. Loneliness is not about being alone. You can be alone and feel fine. You can be in a crowd and feel hollow. Most Americans know this feeling. They just don't have a name for it. Surgeon General Vivek Murthy said it clearly. Loneliness is a public health crisis, not a personal failure, not a personality flaw, a genuine medical emergency. So why is this happening? And why here? Why the richest country on earth? The answer comes from loneliness psychology, and it starts inside your brain. Your brain has a threat detection system. It scans your environment constantly. It watches for danger, physical danger, social danger. Both. To your brain, social disconnection is danger. It activates the same alarm system, the same one that responds to physical pain. Researcher John Cacioppo studied this for decades. He called it the loneliness signal. When your brain detects social isolation, it floods your body with cortisol. That is the stress hormone. Your nervous system shifts into threat mode. You become hypervigilant. You start reading faces as hostile. You interpret neutral situations as threatening. And here is the cruel part. This makes you worse at connecting. The loneliness itself pushes people away. It becomes a self-reinforcing loop. This mechanism evolved for good reason. For early humans, isolation meant death. The group kept you alive. Alone meant predators. Alone meant starvation. Alone meant no tomorrow. So your brain learned to panic when alone. That panic was survival. But something went wrong in modern America. The environment changed. The brain did not. America built a culture around independence. Self-reliance became a virtue. Needing others became weakness. The frontier mentality. Pull yourself up alone, handle it alone, succeed alone. And for decades, Americans did exactly that. They moved away from family for jobs. They moved to suburbs for space. They stopped joining community institutions. Robert Putnam documented all of this. He called it the collapse of social capital. Between 1970 and 2000, civic group membership dropped by 45%. Neighborhood connections collapsed. People stopped knowing their neighbors. They stopped gathering in shared spaces. They retreated indoors, and they called it success. Then the internet arrived. Then social media arrived. And something interesting happened. Not good interesting. Painful interesting. Social media gave Americans the illusion of connection, hundreds of friends, thousands of followers, constant notifications. But loneliness psychology research is clear. Passive scrolling increases loneliness. It does not reduce it. A 2018 University of Pennsylvania study proved this. Students who reduced social media to 30 minutes daily reported significantly lower loneliness scores. Less connection online meant more real connection. That result shocked researchers. So who feels this most in America? Young adults aged 18 to 22 report the highest rates, higher than the elderly, higher than people living alone. The generation that grew up most connected online became the loneliest generation in recorded history. That is not a coincidence. That is loneliness psychology in action. Introverts suffer in different ways. They often feel pressured by American extrovert culture, constant networking, constant socializing, constant performance of connection. They exhaust themselves performing what they don't feel, and the exhaustion deepens the isolation. High achievers suffer too. American hustle culture demands full focus on work, on output, on performance. Friendships get deprioritized. Relationships become maintenance burdens. And slowly, quietly, the support network disappears. Then one day they look up from the grind, and there is nobody there. Other cultures handle this differently. In Denmark, people join co-housing communities, shared meals, shared spaces, shared lives. Loneliness rates are among the lowest in the world. In Japan, the government created a minister of loneliness. a federal position dedicated to social connection. In Italy and Greece, multi-generational living is normal, grandparents, parents, and children under one roof. Regular meals together, daily face-to-face contact. These are not richer countries than America. They are not more technologically advanced, but their loneliness rates are dramatically lower. The difference is not wealth, it is structure. It is how they organize human connection. America individualized connection. It made it optional, personal, something you pursue alone. And when you make connection optional, most people slowly opt out, not intentionally, just gradually, through busyness, through screens, through the perfectly curated life. So what can loneliness psychology offer here? What actually works? First, understand the difference. Quantity of contact versus quality of contact. Your brain does not count interactions. It measures felt closeness. One real conversation matters more. It matters more than 50 likes. Start there. One real conversation this week with someone who actually knows you. Second, resist the American instinct, the instinct that says handle it alone. Loneliness psychology research is clear on this. Vulnerability reduces the loneliness signal. When you tell someone you are struggling, your nervous system actually calms down. Disclosure is not weakness, it is neuroscience. It is the biological antidote. Third, create structure around connection. Do not rely on motivation. Motivation fails. Schedule a regular meal with someone. Join something that meets weekly, a class, a group, a team, anything. The research on Putnam and Cacioppo agrees. Repeated low-stakes contact builds real bonds, not grand gestures, just showing up. Again and again. Here is the final thought on loneliness psychology. Feeling lonely does not mean you are broken. It means your brain is working exactly as designed. It is telling you something true. You need people, not more followers, not more content. People. Real, present, imperfect people. That need is not a weakness. It is the most human thing about you. If this video reached something real in you, the next one will go even deeper. The psychology of why we self-isolate even when we desperately want connection. That one is worth watching next.